How you doing, people? Robert here, AKA Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. I've just printed off 2 templates that I used on a banner to explain the difference between a constable and an officer on the street. This information is invaluable and it will help you understand how this works. Okay, people, we're going to start with police constable, common law, people's jurisdiction, people's servant with oath of office, constable upholding public oath and honour, private capacity, full personal life. The reason I say that bit is because they're hiding behind a mask and under the uniform is a man or a woman. And if they commit a tort or a delict, they're liable in the private capacity. They're responsible for their own actions, people. So take note of that. The constable must have probable cause or an actual reasonable suspicion that you are committing or about to commit a crime of harm, loss, injury, fraud or property damage to another living soul, i.e. man or woman. But they go by the status person because that's all they can deal with. They can't deal with a man or a woman. That's why statutes and acts are used against the man or woman and criminal conversion takes place. There must be a corpus delicti only if there is a victim, a man, woman, of a crime. The constable can only establish jurisdiction over the man or woman. There cannot be a victimless crime. People do not know that these men and women in these uniforms are operating in 2 different statuses, 2 jurisdictions. Fraud and crimes are being committed against the people at the highest level every day. Example, such as giving your names and details to get joined up. These people put your details in all caps name. He or she is criminally converting the names of the man and woman and changing the status to the legal person, dead entity, corporation, because this is where the fraud and deception occurs, especially if these people are in uniforms wearing green vest, green jacket status or police officer. These people are acting in dishonour and fraud. Now, we come to the police officer. Admiralty, Maritime Commercial Jurisdiction, the Law of the Sea, Incorporated Office, private contractors, with no public oath of office. Officer, not his or her job. He or she is in dishonour, acting in fraud. Private capacity under full commercial liability is still again under the mask of police officer, still a man or woman under that uniform, people. So make sure that you take note of this. Law enforcement officer, corporate employee, collecting revenues, performing commerce, enforcing statutory contracts of the corporation by the corporate policy enforcers for corporations, i.e. Police Scotland, Glasgow City Council, courts, etc., etc. The officer must establish that you, the man or woman, are acting in the role of artificial legal person, which is consent by joinder in order to establish jurisdiction over the man or woman. While acting as a person, you are under contract obligated to perform according to the terms and conditions of statutes and acts. Only a person can be taken to court for the offence, not the man or woman. Fines and penalties are statutory for the dead legal person, so do not apply to a living man or woman, only the legal system, legal society. This is where the fraud and deception arises against the sovereign people. The legal system, legal society can only deal with corporations, entities, dead legal fictions, legal persons. Fact, it's all fraud, and that's a fact, people. Now, relating to fines and penalties, right? People are under the impression when they get into this court that fine is for them. As I've said time and time in videos before, people, when you walk in this administrative hearing, it's not a court. The building's a court building, but what's in it's not a court. When you walk in that box that they call the dock, they don't hear you, they don't see you, and they don't recognise you. They will still interact with yourself, right? And the reason that is because they're interacting with the dead. You're a dead fiction, people. You don't exist. And when you walk in there, you give them jurisdiction and joinder. And this is what people don't understand. And people have to pay attention to what they're being told. Because what I'm telling you, I'm staying in private capacity under full personal liability, even under the charge of perjury. And this information comes with first-hand knowledge. One of the most important factors, first-hand knowledge. It's the same as when you, or the man or woman, go into this administrative hearing and you use a liar, who are a Babylon. These people are deliberately and willfully taking you into their system as a legal person. And this is what's happening. There's a conflict of interest, people. The lawyers, the judges, and the Procurator Fiscals are all part of an association called the Bar Association, or, in the lands of Scotland, the Law Society of Scotland. It's funded by the lawyer Liars of Babylon. It's not public funded. Now, people are also under the impression when you give your name and details to these people, you are doing the right thing. Technically, you are doing the right thing, but you're doing the wrong thing because there's a fraud taking place, identity theft is occurring, and criminal conversion in the name because they're putting it in the all capital name. And again, that's why all forms and documents in the legal system, legal society, even with boxes, have got to be filled in black ink. The sign of the dead, it's for the dead only, right? And that's where the consent is tricked from the man or woman because they think that they have the obligation to fill in their paperwork in black ink. I've already challenged this on numerous occasions, people. I've sent things away in blue ink that's been sent back, rejected. And that's why everything's got to be done in black ink to draw you into the system and keep you there. Remember, people, this legal system, legal society, is all corporations acting in fraud. The so-called entity known as government, like Scottish Parliament, Westminster Parliament, Irish Parliament, Welsh Parliament, are corporations, mere corporations. They're acting in commerce, maritime laws, commerce, the law of contract. So they are not sovereign, people, so let's be clear. They are not sovereign, and that's a fact. People have to, not just take my word for it, research yourself, but what I'm telling you here is 100% true and accurate. I'm not giving misinformation, and that's a fact. It's like when people, like the council or the men and women, send you a letter saying it's better for you to go online, the man or woman to go online, but they don't use the term man or woman. It says it's better for yourself. You can check your council tax files, your payments and your arrears and blah, blah, blah. But the problem here is, people, they've just stole your consent because they're giving you an option, and the way they word things, it's word trickery, legalese, and they're drawing you right into their system so you fill in there online. And that's why sheriff officers, another corporation or corporations can get into your bank account and steal your details because you have voluntarily given your details online. You've given consent. The minute you send the details online, you're sending it to a fiction, a corporation, right? Because no man or woman in this legal system, legal society can come out and deal with a man or a woman and make a claim because it makes them personally liable. It's like Sadiq Khan with the ULEZ nonsense. People are paying fines, people are not paying fines, right? Why is the people paying fines? Is he making a claim he owns the air? Is he making a claim he owns the roads? And where does he derive jurisdiction over the man or woman and the right to travel from point A to point B? This is the bit that people are missing. You have to go in after these people in a private capacity under full personal liability as men and women. You can't write to a council or Police Scotland. You will get an answer, right? But you're not getting a direct answer for a man or woman, right? They cannot make a claim against a man or woman, people. Have faith and trust in what I tell you. It's a fact. Again, it's coming from first-hand knowledge. This is all a scam. This system's a scam. This system has to be brought down. And we have to, as nations, as you call it, people have a sovereign government. Remove the corporations. The national debt disappears, people, because it's these corporations and all these companies that's involved with these corporations that owes the debt, not the people. If the money that the people paid in the system was to be used for the proper services, we would have proper services. People wouldn't be dying unnecessarily in hospitals. People wouldn't have to wait for 9 months, 6 months, 15 months, 2 years for an appointment for cancer. This is all control mechanisms with corporations. They don't have this power. Right, people? Have trust in what I tell you. I'm telling you the truth. And I'll stand with any man or woman in the legal system, legal society, and destroy them, get them on the street. Let's get the paper a man that knows what he's talking about. Anyway, people, hope you enjoyed this information. Please pay attention to what you've just heard. It's fact, and I'm verifying it under charge of perjury if required. Use people, take care, be safe, and look out for each other because this system don't care about sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, grandfathers, or grandmothers. Okay, people, take care, people. Bye-bye.